Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have got the Excavator back on the table. So, we left off with the last video, figured out what the issue was, and it is leaking from the distribution block and the banjo bolts. So, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see these banjo bolts, if I move the arm manually, are leaking out of the joints basically. Kind of an odd one that the new one I put on is leaking, but it was also leaking out of this one here, and I think a couple of the bottom ones which do the main rams down here. So ironically enough, by the time that video actually went out, I had ordered these new ones from AliExpress, and they actually showed up on the same Friday as that video was released. So my plan is I'm going to have to take all of these off, put these new fittings on. It also now needs a secondary clean off underneath this tray because it's filled with hydraulic fluid again. I think it's all just come out of here, so I don't think I'm going to have to strip the valve block or anything like that off. I think it's just going to be pulling the motherboard and the ESCs out and just soaking it up with a paper towel and a bit of isopropyl alcohol, and I think we should be good. Hopefully this fixes the issue and we won't have any more problems. So let's get to it. So we've got all the new fittings on. They were a little bit more pain in the arse than I thought would be to put on. And to be honest, I was probably putting them on the wrong way or the wrong manner of doing it with pairs of pliers and shit like that. But it is what it is, and it is the only way I could really do it with the tools I've got. So the next issue I've noticed is, again, I thought it may be an issue, is that distribution block, this out a bit. That one there is stripped slightly. It's threaded in, but it's quite loose, and I don't think it's threaded in all the way basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try putting some more oil in it and just see if it pisses out anywhere else now. So let's get back to doing it. Well, I think I'm going to end the video there before I run out of hydraulic oil. Basically, bucket works, bucket moves back and forwards. This is the ram which is leaking now out of the distribution block because of the basically the thread being fucked on it. And these two 50-50 work, but I think there's air in the lines because it's got quite a bit of force pushing downwards, but for trying to lift it up it's not got much force. But when I first ran it, it had enough force to lift itself up and down by itself. So I don't know if whatever issue I'm having with the distribution block is causing air in the line to affect that but not affect the bucket. I'm not 100% sure, so it's going back on the shelf for a little bit until I can get a new distribution block for it. So, well, I'm going to have to stop myself right there. We've got a little bit of an update on it. So, I have contacted Hoina, considering they make the Calibri brand and they stock all the spare parts for them. On their website, they didn't actually have the distribution block. Contacted them. Still haven't heard from them in 2 weeks since the filming of the last clip of installing all the new banjo bolts. So, looking back through some of my holiday photos from Scotland from 2 years ago, I saw that Wonderland of Models stocked Hoina stuff. So I thought to myself, maybe they would have a direct line to the manufacturer and may be able to get spare parts in for me. Within less than 24 hours, I have a new distribution block. Well, new, second-hand-ish. So I want to say thank you to whoever the CML distributor guy was, but this is out of his personal collection. Or his personal spares collection. And he sent this across to me. So I want to say that is some brilliant customer service from CML and Wonderland. Didn't even get this from... Well, actually thinking about that, I think on the box this says CML written on it. So this may have been from CML at some point in its life. But I personally didn't get it from them. So I want to just give a special thanks and a special shout out to them guys. They are fucking legends in my book. So hopefully I should be able to just bolt this on and we should be good to go. May unbolt it from here and bolt it onto there. Saved myself removing all of this because this looks like it needs washers and O-rings, which I don't know how hard it would be to get the O-rings off without damaging them. And to be honest, I don't need any more hydraulic leaks. They also sent me across some banjo bolts and washers, which sadly enough, like you've seen in this video, I've already replaced all the original banjo bolts. So I think, you know what, I'm going to continue in this video. I apologise if it gets too long, but we might as well see if I can get it working now, considering I think this is the part which is causing all the issues. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to do it off camera, is strip it all down, clean up the hydraulic fluid again and install the new block, which I believe it should be the exact same. It looks the same. I believe I could probably get away with just unbolting this and bolting it onto the distribution block. So, let's go. So I just realised that last clip I filmed, my autofocus wasn't turned on. But I am slowly giving the fuck up with this thing. That block did fix it, it's no longer leaking. But just cycling it back and forward, it seems to have no strength in it at all. So what I mean by that is I can kind of stop it with my hand with no issues at all. So if I put my arm there, it's really not fighting me at all. And it's basically just stopped doing up and down, and my hands are off the controller and it's slowly dropping. So it'll go down. That's me trying to force it all the way back up. So it seems to work for a minute and then just decides to stop. So this is me trying to bring the other arm back in. Oh, it's actually gained some strength. Until it hits my mat. It's trying. It's trying to lift. Yeah, so I have no bloody clue. And also randomly the pump will just keep going on. It's like a trim is an issue as well. So, if anyone's got any suggestions before I throw it out the window, please let me know down in the comments below. Alright, I'm going to have to stop myself there again before I end this video. I decided to take the pump off. Just because I'm going through my head, what else could this issue be? It's either going to be an O-ring in the rams, and it's letting fluid pass, but not actually pushing the ram. But then again, that wouldn't explain why half of the other rams are very weak. So I thought, alright, the original owner said to me it had a bad pump motor. So when I assume he means bad pump motor, I'd assume he means this outrunner, which, to be honest, seems to be spinning as an outrunner should. It doesn't look like it slows down or doing anything like that. Yeah, there is a few nicks in the cable where I don't believe they're from me, but they shouldn't really have affected it because I don't think they should come in contact with each other. So I decided, you know what, I saw there's bolts on the back of the pump, I will pull it apart. Well, that doesn't particularly look good on the case. And then you look at the gears. Why has it got a big worn gap, and why can that gear move back and forward like that? And then you look at the back side of that gear, which is moving back and forwards. That's two different size diameter holes there. And if I angle this just right, you will see what should be a pin is now a cone-shaped object. So I think I found my issue, and to be honest, I should have really noticed this earlier, because there is a clip earlier in this video, which I will play over the top of me talking, of as I've added hydraulic fluid, all of a sudden there is a puff of silver metal oil comes out. So I'm assuming that's from this gear rubbing against this alley casing and just grinding itself away. So I don't know what to do, because I've contacted Wonderland again, CML, or not CML, I think, is it CML? Basically, their distributor says they can't get a new pump until close to December. So I'm considering whether or not it's worth fucking about with this one. Drilling a hole in this back plate, sort of in line with where it needs to be, and putting a countersunk bolt so it sits flat in there, and putting this on some roller bearings and tapping this. So basically tapping it so there's a shaft on this side coming out but not going too far, because I did think about tapping it on, or just drilling away this, not drilling away, just removing this completely and drilling through the block, but then there is oil lines which are running through it and all that shit. So I'm thinking I could just remove that and just bolt and maybe drill this out and put some bearings on it and see if that works, and see if I can get a functional digger for a little bit before getting a new pump, because if it's going to be until December, I'm having a strange feeling the ground's going to be too hard to even use this, and I would like to use it soon-ish. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video on this bombshell that it is fucked. So please like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned. You may see this again in the future. You may see it being set on fire in a fucking skip, because I am getting absolutely annoyed with it. And I'll see ya.